Yo, what up, YouTube, DD community, and everyone watching this video around the world? It's your boy Jazz and Delusional Dino. Before I start off with this video, I just want to let everyone know that they should subscribe to our channel for some dope ass content. We're gonna be dropping some really good content in the future. We just started this new top five segment, which I'll be taking over. We got our main podcast with K Smooth B, me, and T Dog dropping every Sunday, and we got a music artist review dropping every Wednesday. And so, yeah, just want to let everyone know subscribe to the channel, give a thumbs up to any videos you like, and spam the comments on any videos on just your opinions on anything. So, today I'm going to be talking about my top five favorite Batman villains. And the reason why I want to talk about Batman is because Batman is actually my favorite DC franchise, like many others, and it's because all his villains and all the characters in Batman are somewhat realistic. They're mainly all humans, or if they're not, they have a lot of like humanoid personality and traits, and they're basically more street level fighters, and I like that better than overpowered superheroes and villains like Darkseid, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, etc. So yeah, let's begin. So starting off at number five is Ra's al Ghul. So for those of you that don't know, Ra's al Ghul is the leader of the League of Shadows slash Assassins. And he's a very skilled martial artist and blade wielder. He's actually the one who trained Batman when Batman first came into the League of Shadows. Ra's al Ghul trained Batman and basically gave Batman the martial art skills that he has today and the fighting skills. And we all know that Batman is a dope hand-to-hand combatter. He's also known as the Demon's Head, and he's given this name by many, and it's because of his title in not just the Batman universe, but also in the DC universe. He's been around for centuries due to this like super dope jacuzzi, mythical, magical jacuzzi that he has called the Lazarus Pit, which kind of is the source of his immortality. And so that's just like that's the main element of Ra's al Ghul. That's what keeps him immortal and what keeps him in his young stature, or like looking like 40 or 50 at least, not any older than that. And although Ra's al Ghul's goal, like Batman, is to kind of cleanse the world of corruption, he technically tries to execute this goal through killing and warfare. And it goes against what Batman stands for, because Batman doesn't believe in killing. He doesn't believe in taking someone's life, no matter how wrong they are, or how bad they con the world. And Ra's al Ghul has a lot of influence on Gotham City, and does get involved with Gotham City because Gotham City is like a root of corruption. It is a city swarming of darkness and corruption, and basically it's a city that can't really be saved. It's just a continuation of greed, corruption, and chaos and anarchy. So this is one of the top. So that's one of the top reasons why Ra's al Ghul, or the main reason why Ra's al Ghul is like in my top five favorite Batman villains, is because of his power and influence that he has on the city and on his dope ass League of Shadows cult, which is like this group of like insane ninjas. So I think he's kind of cool. Going up to number four is Two Face, aka Harvey Dent. So the reason why Harvey Dent is in my top five is because this character has a really, really dope and tragic origin story that kind of created the persona of Two Face. So Harvey Dent actually started off as a former lawyer and district attorney who kind of fought for justice to make Gotham a better place, and was this beacon of light that the citizens of Gotham saw him as. And he just continued to serve justice or fight for justice in the courtroom and do everything by the book, make sure no one broke the law. And this was very unique, and because he was basically one of the only authority figures that didn't play a role in corruption in Gotham City, which I thought was really cool. And however, he turned face once Don Sal Maroni, who is the head of the Maroni crime family, threw acid into Harvey's face, kind of disfiguring like half of his face, creating the persona Two Face. And after this situation, Harvey Dent became the villain known as Two-Face. And I think I think the origin of Two-Face is is a really important part of Batman, because it goes to show that this individual that was so good, has such a positive influence on Gotham, had just gone through like a really tragic experience and had just completely turned to the dark side and became a villain. And goes to show that Gotham City has this influence of darkness and corruption, and can negatively influence the best of people. So I thought that was kind of cool. Number three, going on to Carmine Falcone. So Carmine Falcone is actually not a villain that's really talked about. When people think about Batman, they don't really think about Carmine Falcone, but he's one of my favorite. And the reasoning is because of his political influence and power over Gotham City. Carmine Falcone is actually the dawn of the Falcone family, which was the most powerful mob before Black Mask came into villainy. And Carmine Falcone was basically probably one of the first pioneers of basically, kind of giving Gotham its corruption, its greediness, its anarchy, its chaos, kind of embedding Gotham with it. I guess he was one of the sole operators, or someone who had partaken in giving Gotham that sense of darkness. And I think just his role in initially making Gotham a dark place puts him in my top five, just because he is such a prevalent figure and has played such an important role. Even though it's negative, he still did play an important role in making what Gotham is today, a really dark city swarming of corruption. Going to number two is Red Hood. So, for those of you that don't know, Red Hood is also it was Jason Todd, who was Batman's second Robin. After Dick Grayson, of course. Dick Grayson was Batman's first Robin, who decided to become his own superhero slash vigilante and take the alias of Nightwing. And Jason Todd actually used to be a thief when he was a teenager. So his father used to be a thief and conman, which kind of gave that negative influence to Jason, creating this sense of conness, putting this making him basically a con man himself at a teenage as a teenager. And basically Jason Todd joined the Red Hood gang when he was a teenager because his friend had peer pressure, who was part of it, peer pressured him into joining, which kind of started his mini criminal career. And Jason also, when he was 16, was caught trying to steal the wheels off of the Batmobile by Batman, but instead of getting the shit beaten out of him, he instead was given a home, given food, was trained by Batman, and eventually became Batman's, second Robin, someone who he could trust as his valued sidekick. And he became a great asset to Batman. However, Jason died ruthlessly after, being beaten really ruthlessly by Joker with a crowbar, and was blown up afterwards in a warehouse that was struck by a time bomb that the Joker had placed. And this kind of scarred Batman, because Batman was just seconds away from saving Jason Todd, and he was actually outside the warehouse when it got blown up. So this scarred Batman and played a huge role. And 6 months late after Jason Todd was presumed dead, had his funeral and everything, he was actually resurrected by Talia al Ghul in the Lazarus Pit, and was trained by Ra's al Ghul, and became a member of the League of Shadows for a little bit, until he went to seek vengeance on his own. And he decided to go and seek revenge on Gotham City, and his target list was basically the Joker or any criminal. He basically went to seek justice of his own, kind of like Ra's al Ghul. He wanted to seek justice through violence and aggression, which kind of goes against what Batman stands for, making him a villain. However, later on in the universe, as you go deeper and deeper, you soon get to see Red Hood more as an anti-hero. Next, and this is obviously my favorite and probably most of Batman fans' favorite villain too, the Joker, also known as the Clown Prince of Crime. The Joker, for those of you that obviously know him or don't know him, is an agent of chaos and a complete lunatic that basically embodies everything that Batman fights against. So he's like the yang to Batman's yin. Um, he is basically the exact opposite, which makes him the greatest Batman arch enemy. So he doesn't have to be a crazy fighter, but just just his views being completely opposite is what kind of makes him Batman's greatest arch nemesis. And there are many origin stories behind what created the Joker. But the known origin or the main one is that he was a failed circus comedian who was having trouble providing for his pregnant wife. And through the struggle, he developed aggression and frustration and anxiety and depression. And this kind of started the sparked his mental health, which plays a huge part in his villainy. And as he continued to struggle and face a difficult time, he began to show like a lot of mental imbalance and behavior, which ended up scaring his wife enough for her to run away to like Alaska in hiding. And he didn't know about this for the longest time. And the Joker then became, after being super mentally imbalanced, he decided to become a criminal and basically began his criminal career as Red Hood 1, who was the leader of the Red Hood gang, which Jason Todd was part of. So I don't know if they knew each other, but consequently they were, or ironically, they were part of the same gang, even though they had a lot of influence over each other in becoming villains. And during an escape, basically from the Batman, Red Hood 1, who was the Joker, the Joker, who was known as Red Hood 1 back then, had like accidentally fallen into like a huge canister of chemicals after being chased, which ended up giving him, the pale skin, the green hair that he has, the imagery of the Joker, and eventually giving him the title and alias of the Joker. And that just goes to show, like, I think the Joker's main source of villainy came from mental health and struggle, and that kind of created chaos and lunacy in his character. Anyways, guys, that was my top 5 favorite Batman villains. Please give a thumbs up to this video if you enjoyed this video, if you learned a lot about Batman villains in particular, if you agreed with mine. If you disagree with mine, do comment, or if you agree with mine, comment your top 5 favorite Batman villains in the comments. And remember to subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of dope content coming out. I'm going to be adding more to this top 5 segmentation. We got a lot more dope content coming out in the future, lots and lots of content. So please do stay tuned and subscribe to our channel. And thank you guys a lot for watching this video, and see ya. Just keep killing it.